Well, here we are on the top of a hill overlooking the Mary Valley direction. We've got Mullaney over to our left hand side. This is the vicinity of the start of the Mary River. We are really close by where the property is, where I believe the Mary River starts from a spring.
Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, turns base, full stop, 17 Maryborough.
Well, I'm just back from another mission. Why don't you come and join me now and watch what we've been up to. Enjoy this adventure. And maybe after you've watched this one, you might want to watch one of the other more than 300 videos on the channel regarding aviation and flying adventures with Crayonbox.
Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, taxis, hangers to the apron, taxiway Bravo, Maryborough. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, lines up, rolls, runway 17 for a left-hand departure out to the east, Maryborough. Morning and thanks for joining me. This morning, as you might have heard, we're exploring the Mary River. Now it's a little bit later than I wanted to go, but it's 8 o'clock local time. First destination is to go to the end of the river, which is about 10 kilometres to the east. And we're going to traverse or follow the whole river from beginning, or the end, from the end to the beginning. We're going to attempt to find the source of the Mary River. Now we're going to do a slow cruise today, we're not in a hurry. We'll pull it down to 70 knots. And just look at the view in front of us, isn't that nice? Beautiful morning for this. I'm trying to conserve fuel this morning because we've got a fair way to go. I estimate the flight will be about an hour and a half. And then I'll be turning around and returning to Gympie for fuel and a coffee with a friend. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is airborne and departing the circuit out to the east at 1,000 feet, tracking for river heads. Maryborough traffic. And we'll just try and maintain 70 knots for the whole flight. So 70 knots, hour and a half, we should be able to travel 1.5 times 70, 105 nautical miles, or about 200 kilometres. Alright, we're coming up on River Heads. This is our turning point to start the actual journey. Looks very nice. So in a moment we'll do a complete 180 and then we'll come back, we'll go back the way we just came, and then we'll start following the river all the way to the source. Now, I don't know if this would be cheating, but I know that the river is hard to follow. So I've actually done a lot of research to actually identify where it goes, and I've made a flight plan, as you will see here, to actually indicate the actual course that I need to take to follow the river. Now most of the time it will be easy, but when it comes to finding the actual source, it disappears pretty much under the trees. So we'll be using that as a reference to be able to actually track the river. So here we go, we'll do a U-ey now. This is River Heads. The river enters Sandy Straits from here, and then it becomes a salty, well it's already brackish, but then it heads out to the Hervey Bay, Platypus Bay kind of area. And really then becomes the ocean. All traffic Hervey Bay, Maryborough, microlight 6340 is 1,000 feet over river heads, so about 8 miles to the east of Maryborough. Tracking tracking west up the river, following the river into Maryborough and over the top through Maryborough traffic. Alrighty, so here we go, the mighty Mary. Look how wide it is down here. It is nothing like this at the other end. Apparently, according to as I said, according to the satellite pictures, I'll just do it my wrists. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is 3 miles to the east of the field at 800, tracking the river, and I'll be tracking around all the bends through Maryborough and out the other side at about 500 to 800 feet. Maryborough traffic. So we're just entering Maryborough now. As you can see, there's the airport straight ahead over there. Don't know if you can make it out on the camera. We're going to follow all the bends, and we will then basically start our, well, we'll be back where we started from, let's put that way, and then we'll be on our way well and truly. Estimated flight at the moment, the time estimated, 8:30, no, 10, who does good maths? So ETA is 22:30 Zulu, and we are 10 hours ahead, which makes it 32, which makes it 8:30 ETA. Oh, that's the next waypoint. Okay, distance to go, 6 miles. I've set my GP up. I've set my iPad up in such a way, my navigation, as to tell me nothing. Alright, so this is always the interesting bend in the river. This is the horseshoe bend at Dundathu, and there's cane crops, sugar cane in the middle there. It's been there it's almost historical. Well, it probably is actually. We've got plenty of water. Actually, I wonder what the water's like. There's a dam there, a big long narrow dam in that paddock too, so I would say this water here would be brackish anyway, salty, and it wouldn't be any good for crops. So they'd even like all this water and none to drink really, you know. They'd be relying on rainfall and fresh water for sure. Oh, you might have noticed too, there's a hole in my dash. I'm replacing the compass. Now I did have the compass on top of the dash. I had moved it from the dash where it was originally installed. But the angle of the dash, well, that's another story for another time. I'll be replacing and fitting in the new compass today, and I'll be telling you why. If you want to know, I'll tell you why in an upcoming story just about the compass. Had some issues there. Hopefully this fixes it. We're just coming up alongside the airport, the runway in Maryborough, where we began our little journey this morning. Local time is 8:25. I just hope the air's not too rough in the valley where the river nearly comes to its end actually. So we're coming into Maryborough now. Make sure there's no traffic on the inbound. Haven't heard any radio calls either. As I said, even for the local frequency here. There's been a couple of people go flying, so don't get me wrong. Yeah, so this is coming into the CBD of Maryborough. Maryborough will be the biggest town. Along this river actually. This is the biggest town. It was going to be the capital town of Queensland back in 1800s. I think it was the 1800s, early 1900s. Anyway, well over 100 years ago. Here we are, Maryborough, and there's a lot of history here. and the marina below us, the boats there, and there's been a lot of flooding here when there's been floods and tornadoes. And walkers, now known as something else, Downer Engineering was always Walkers. It's had a few name changes. They don't know what they used to do. They're metal workers anyway. They have a foundry there and they build trains. They used to build trains and now they're looking to diversify into other fields. Something to do with military, potentially, apparently. So I'm going to take you around this other horseshoe bend because it's a bit interesting as we go around the Maryborough CBD. Another cane field down our right. Cane fields all around us really. There's kids playing sports over there. Once we get out of here there's not much to see, to be honest. The river is obviously quite murky here. Alright, one more right turn here. We'll be tracking to the west and we'll be pretty much on a straight line for about 7 kilometres or something like that. About 3 or 4 nautical miles, I believe. Looks like that's where the cars come to die below us. Or to be put out of their misery, perhaps. It's looking so green here now, it's so nice. The dams have got lots of water everywhere. We had some good rainfall on Wednesday actually. Apparently though, Maryborough didn't get much of it. Hervey Bay did, and to the south of Maryborough, but not Maryborough.
Highway traffic, taxi M3863, currently 4 miles to the northeast. 2,000 feet, maintaining, tracking 270, tracking Hervey Bay.